This is how things went down in Indianapolis. It was Andrew Luck and the Colts at home feeling good. The Chiefs have lost 7 straight since the conference championship game in 1994. Jamal Charles, he was the guy that the Colts knew they needed to stop. What a year it has been for him. He led the team in receiving yards and rushing yards this season. Jamal Charles going right for a 7-yard gain, but he's hurt on the play. Take another look at how hard he goes to the ground here. It wasn't necessarily a hit. I think it was him hitting the ground.
Yeah, you hit. People keep forgetting about how hard the ground is, and clearly you see right here the doctors checking him out, recognizing he's not there, and unfortunately you watch his remarks. They're not happy about leaving the game. One
of the most dangerous weapons in football, knocked out of the game with a concussion. Didn't stop him from scoring on the drive. Alex Smith to Dwayne Bowe for the touchdown. So the Chiefs up 7-0 early. Next drive of the game, we're tied at 7. It's 2nd and 6. Smith to Dwayne Bowe. Did Dwayne Bowe have a game today? Willie, you said earlier in the week this guy needed to step up, and step up he did. This good for 63 yards.
Yeah, he got my disappearing act award of the year, but in the playoff game is where you need to step up, especially some of your best players. And he came in and he made some plays to help his team win.
And remember, they scored a field goal on that drive and not the touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, here's Smith going deep to Donnie Avery. We don't see him go deep very often,
That's
but this time,
right
79-yard touchdown, and the Chiefs up 17-7. What happens here, guys? Because this looked way easier, I think, than it was supposed to be if you're a Indianapolis Colts
Well, the safety bit up. What you're going to see is you're going to see right here, Avery, the safety, you see him right there. There's no reason to bite on that.
He's looking in the backfield while his player is still running. The one thing you can't do is lose sight on the guy you're covering. His eyes are in the backfield. His receiver runs right by him. It was a simple post route.
You know what else you can't do? You can't try to switch hands in traffic if you're Trent Richardson. His first career play carry in the playoffs, and he fumbles it there. Justin Houston.
I think it was his last.
It was his last.
Yeah.
Well, this is huge, right? As a running back, you can't switch balls.
No question about it. I mean, you have to understand where you are on the field, and and again, understand this is the playoffs.
All right, so here come Alex Smith and the Chiefs. Little shovel pass to Anthony Sherman, unconventional, but it works for the 5-yard touchdown catch. The Chiefs up 24-7. That was nifty.
And Dan, that's one of those plays we talked about Alex Smith in the first half, making things happen.
Yep.
Well, here comes Smith again, and we know he can get it done with his feet as well. They're up 24-10. That was a 3rd down conversion. 6 plays later, Smith to Dexter McCluster for a pickup of 19. I'd like to see them use him more.
Well, and that's the whole thing. I was surprised that he actually didn't end up going and doing some running back duty when all the running backs started to go down for the Chiefs.
Here's Smith again, nothing going, so he waits and then cuts up the middle.
Nice move.
Picks up the 1st down on 3rd and 7. 4 plays later, it's 1st and goal. Niall Davis, who was filling in for Jamal Charles, scores the touchdown from 4 yards out, and the Chiefs on top, 31-10. Oh, my goodness. Andrew Luck wondering what's going on. But here come the Colts, or so they thought. Ill-advised pass from Andrew Luck, picked off by Brandon Flowers. The Chiefs up 31-10 at halftime. Indianapolis turned the ball over twice in the first half. Andrew Luck knew that he just was not playing his best game of the season. So 3rd quarter, Colts still down 31-10. Andrew Luck looking for Donald Brown. Hussein Abdullah steps in front of it, and the Chiefs take it over at the Colts 18. And this is the point when we thought this is over.
Yeah, it's a wrap. And that's the thing about it. With the turnovers and the mistakes that were being made, did you put 7 on the board? Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't.
Luck's 2nd interception of the day. So here come the Chiefs again. Smith avoids the pressure, finds a wide open Niall Davis, his 2nd touchdown of the game. It's a 28-point lead now for the Chiefs, Willie.
One of the things we saw all game long was DBs losing coverage because they're worried about the quarterback taking off running.
Well, there's Robert Mathis. This might have been the turning point.
That was the play.
That was the turning point.
That was absolutely was.
Almost 28, 21 points, unanswered points scored after that play.
Well, strip sack, and Andrew Luck hits Donald Brown. Brown squirts into the end zone. So it's
like Brown.
38-24. He's played some great football since they acquired Trent Richardson.
Another player going down. You see right there, Flowers. He ends up going out of the game.
Brandon Flowers, one of several Chiefs who left the game with injuries. Another interception from Andrew Luck. It's Abdullah again, just kind of steals the ball right there from T.Y. Hilton.
It was a bad throw by Luck. He threw it behind the receiver.
But he reminds me of a cornerback, though. You know, cornerback gives up a touchdown, forgets about it, and continue to make plays with his leg. That play you see right there, keeping plays alive, allowing his guys to get open. Several times throughout this game, Andrew Luck buying that time a la Aaron Rodgers, and you saw what happened.
Yeah, that was Levon Brazil, and this is Kobe Fleener. Had a drop or two of them earlier in the game. Doesn't drop this one. So the Colts making it a 10-point game. It's 41-31. In the fourth quarter, Chiefs have the ball. Alex Smith looking deep for Cyrus Gray.
That was the play.
You said it.
I told you back when it happened. That's the play that come back to bite him, and that's exactly what happened.
They didn't have many punts in this game, but they would have to punt on that drive. So here comes Andrew Luck and the Colts to T.Y. Hilton for 16.
Buying himself time.
It's so tough to gauge a quarterback like him because he runs around, he can take off and beat you for 15 yards like this right here, what we're seeing. Or if you bite up on him, the receiver uncovers and he hits the receiver because he's good enough to throw it on a run.
I don't care how good you are, you can't plan for this.
Well, no, you can. It's what? Pure luck. That's exactly what it was.
Pure luck, Dan. You didn't know that?
But and I'm going to be honest with you, I believe there are players who have magic. I believe this young man has magic. And I'm not saying a magician, but I'm saying there are just things that good continue to happen to players like this.
Football instincts. He's always aware. He's always paying attention.
Go back to Aaron Rodgers last week in the playoff. You know, that ball that he tells his Boykin to go in for a touchdown. Right. They just have it.
Well, it's a 3-point ball game at this juncture, and here's Smith to A.J. Jenkins, who picks up 27 yards. The Chiefs settle on a 43-yard Ryan Suckup field goal, so that makes it 38-44. On the ensuing drive, Justin Houston injured on the sideline. That's not good. Luck here trying to take advantage of that situation. Deep to T.Y. Hilton for 64 yards.
How does this happen?
How do you get behind the defense here, Willie?
I don't understand.
Well, you're fast, number one.
He's fast, but I understand. This is the number one threat in the game. You do not let T.Y. Hilton get behind you. I don't care who else gets behind you. It's not T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, gets right past
Kendrick turns him
Lewis. Maybe expected some help there. Wow.
I'm going to ride him. I'm going to ride him all the way into the coverage till I see my help come across.
Well, first of all, the safety still shouldn't have been there.
So the Colts up by 1 at this point. Alex Smith is pressured. He throws the ball away.
Pressure.
Don't celebrate too early. That's what we were saying here. There's still some time. 2 plays later, just after the 2-minute warning, Smith deep to Dwayne Bowe. And this was a great pass.
That was a nice pass. It's tough for Dwayne Bowe to come in bounds. Duke's thinking he probably could.
No, the thing about it, you have to stay in bounds.
Right.
You just have to. I mean, you have to know where you are in the moment. This is the last play of the game.
I get it, but let's give the quarterback some credit. They're taught to ride, get on your hip, and press you towards that sideline.
45-44 the final. The Colts beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They were down 28 points in this game and rally despite 3 interceptions from Andrew Luck. The guy was like a golfer, unconscious in this win.
Nick Foles, Westlake High School, by the way, in Austin, Texas. 10 years after that guy went to Westlake High School in Austin, Texas. As we told you, the Saints looking for their first postseason road win. Opening possession, 4th and 2 at the Eagles' 37. What are they doing? They're going to go for it, and we got drama. We got flags. We got people moving and bouncing, and we're calling it on your old teammate, LT, Drew Brees. What did he do? Did he do the old head bob?
Yeah, probably so. Drew is known for doing too much sometimes with the head bob. Can't do that.
The Saints forced to punt. 2 possessions later, 1st and 10 at midfield. Brees looking for the rookie Kenny Stills, but it's Bradley Fletcher with the INTs. That's just a poor throw, Brian.
A horrible throw. Great play by the defensive back to make the play and get some nice return yards at that.
Return of 24 out to the Eagles' 27, but the Eagles would miss a field goal on that possession. Next Saints possession, it's 3rd and 7, and Brees looking for his all-world tight end, Jimmy Graham, who was held to just 3 catches. Here, he's got it. He's looking for the first down, but he loses the rock. The Eagles have recovered, or at least that's what the refs say. But, of course, every turnover is reviewed. And upon further review, look at that knee.
Got the knee down.
Knee is down, so the Saints retain possession.
Great officiating. Way to get the call right.
Well, the call is actually reversed, so then they get it right.
Right.
Then on the next play, 4th and short, they're going to go for it, but Benjamin Watson moved. So the Saints had to settle for a Shane Graham field goal and a 3-0 lead.
Wasn't he in the huddle when they called the play?
And that's a vet, too. Next Saints possession. 2nd and 7, Breeze for Lance Moore, but it's picked off by D'Amico Ryans. Breeze's second pick of the game, and the Eagles are across midfield. Drew just wasn't himself in the first half.
Yeah, but their Philly defense mixed up coverages very well against Drew Brees, confused him at times. Great play there by D'Amico Ryans.
So here comes Philly, which was really out of sync for much of the first quarter and a half as well. Nick Foles in the pocket to Riley Cooper. 8 of his 9 touchdown grabs when Foles was throwing it.
Look how much time he had.
A lot of time. It's hard to cover a guy that long, man.
Eagles would take a 7-6 halftime lead. Third quarter, same score. First possession of half number 2. Foles. Pockets collapsing, and it's a Hicks-Jordan sandwich. 3 and out for Philly.
Well, you could get that type of pressure with 4 guys. You're doing pretty good.
Here come the Saints on their possession. Drew Brees rolling out, hitting Lance Moore. And he's into the end zone from 24 yards out, and the Saints have a 13-7 lead. Next Philly possession, 3rd and 4. Foles to Riley Cooper. He's got it.
That was big, man. He had nothing but yardage, nothing but grass in front of him. That was a big drop.
I mean, there are certain plays that players are going to go to sleep tonight thinking about. That's the one for Riley Cooper. So here come the Saints on the ensuing possession. Breeze to Stills. Boy, the rookie becoming a bigger part of the game plan, LT.
Yes, he is. Rookie out of Oklahoma really has come on strong lately.
Next play, Breeze to Mr. Full Start, Benjamin Watson for his only catch of the day. Saints starting to show a little bit of balance. In fact, 3 plays later, 1st and goal, and it's the almost forgotten running back of the group with Pierre Thomas out injured, Mark Ingram.
This is where he's best. He puts his foot in the ground, goes downhill into the end zone. Great run by Mark Ingram.
He can't do Shady's dance.
You talk about that much improved Saints defense. Keenan Lewis was a guy who was just locking people down, Prime.
I mean, this guy has done a great job all season. I think he's really played good. Really with the injuries, with that secondary for the Saints, these guys came on well. Now he suffered a concussion this game, had to leave for the entirety of the game.
And that's when the Eagles started picking on his replacement out there, and it just got a little bit ugly because Foles looking deep downfield for Deshaun Jackson. He's got his first catch with under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
That's horrible.
4 plays later, 4th and goal at the 1. Foles to Shady, and he pounds it in, and the Eagles are within 6. Now, that's the way you do that dance.
He's trying to get back in the game. They're not going to let him back in the game.
Later on in the 4th, Breeze looking deep downfield as well, finding Robert Meacham for his only catch of the evening, 40 yards on that, as he beats Patrick Chung. Saints settle for a Graham field goal and a 6-point cushion once again. But here come the Eagles. It's Foles to Deshaun Jackson, covered by Corey White. But that's not coverage. That's PI. Get your hand down, fan. Get your hand down. Thank you. It's PI.
That's the way to attack the one-on-one.
So 2 plays later, as Rob Ryan sitting there shaking his head, Foles to the backup tight end, Zach Ertz, the rookie out of Stanford. He's into the end zone. The PAT gives the Eagles the 1-point lead. But on the ensuing kickoff, Darren Sproles. So dangerous, so explosive, and then tack on 15 with a horse collar by Kerry Williams.
That's a big penalty.
Huge.
So now you're talking about just needing a few first downs. You're in field goal range here on 3rd and 1. Breeze keeping it himself, and Jed Collins, the fullback, with a little pushing help as well. 5 plays later, the Saints run the clock all the way down for Shane Graham, who was signed in mid-December. He, a veteran of 9 different teams, sends the Saints on to their next stop, which will be a rematch with Seattle. The Saints pick up their first ever road playoff win, 26-24, even though they don't get a huge evening from Drew Brees, under 300 for the first time in his last 4 playoff games.